Why the 2023 Golden State Warriors are unbeatable. So as you all know, the Golden State Warriors have made some huge moves this offseason, and in today's video, we're going to be going through 5 reasons why I think the Golden State Warriors are going to be unbeatable next season, and how they can win another NBA championship. So before we get into it, make sure you like this video, and don't forget, if you want more Golden State Warriors content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. But let's get into the first reason, and the first reason being the Golden State Warriors next season will be shooting lights out from the three-point line. Now, as you all know, the Golden State Warriors is a really heavy three-point shooting team, but not only do they shoot a lot of threes, but they make it very, very consistent. Now, actually last season, they were actually ranked 3rd for the most 3 points made by any team at 20.2 thousand threes. Now, I think that's honestly fantastic, despite the fact that the 2 teams ahead of them were actually Mavericks and Rockets. However, they were very close, literally only a couple of hundred off when it came to three-pointers, but when it comes to three-point percentage, Golden State Warriors actually top off near the top. The only other team that actually beat them was the San Antonio Spurs, because the Golden State Warriors had a three-point percentage last season as a whole team of 36%. San Antonio Spurs had 36.3%, however, they only shot 13 threes per game. Golden State Warriors, on the other hand, shot 18 threes per game. Yes, guys, you heard that right. 18 threes. That is a lot of a difference when it comes to 13 compared to 18. That's pretty much a 15-point difference. So that is honestly huge. Even though it is just a couple more threes, guys, it really does pan out. And we have seen this time and time again. I've read so many articles saying how the three-point line is becoming so unfair because a lot of NBA teams are able to shoot at such a high level and at such a high percentage. Now, if you didn't know, a couple of years ago, maybe even back in the 2000s, a three-point percentage of 30% was considered a really good three-point percentage. Nowadays, a lot of teams and also a lot of players are able to shoot 35-40% from the three, and also shoot 3 or 4 threes per game. So obviously the game has evolved, and in all honesty, as the game continues to go to more and more threes, I see Golden State Warriors next season really dominating and really hitting their strides. If you don't remember, we do have the greatest shooter alive in Steph Curry, and last season he actually put up 11 3-point attempts per game and still shot 40% from the 3-point line. That is honestly insane. In other words, we also have Klay last season, as you all know, he wasn't even 100%, but he was still actually shooting 39% from the three-point line and was attempting 9 threes per game. So that's already 20 threes across 2 players of Steph and Klay last season. And as you guys see, it really did pan out because they did end up winning the NBA championship. So not only do I think they're going to get better, but Klay's also going to get healthy. Andrew Wiggins is starting to get that 3 ball down pretty well. Hopefully Draymond starts to shoot some here and there, but I do think the 3-point line is going to be honestly so good for the Golden State Warriors next season as the team continues to develop and more and more of the players become better shooters. The second reason why I think the Golden State Warriors are going to be unbeatable next season is they have a really good second unit. Now, as you all know, when it comes to the starting 5 of Steph, Klay, Wiggins, Draymond, and also Kevon Looney, that's a very strong 5. But where a team actually ends up winning NBA championships is to see how well their bench or their second unit is compared to their first. Because if they are able to keep at playing at such a high level, especially for that second unit, honestly, those are the teams that go far in the playoffs and end up winning NBA championships, which is what we saw last season when the Warriors pulled it out. So obviously, not talking about the starters, we all know how great they are, but some of the players to watch out for next season, I think, for the second unit, first being Jordan Poole. I think Jordan Poole is going to really get into his strides. With JTA leaving, we also have Gary Payton II and Otto Porter leaving. I think Jordan Poole is going to be getting a lot more minutes. He may need to move to that shooting guard and maybe even sometimes small forward position, because I know obviously he is in that position of Steph Curry, and obviously you want to keep Steph out there for as long as possible. So if he's able to adjust and play maybe the 2 or 3, I think he can be very, very effective. Last season he did very well despite the fact that he was actually coming off the bench. His numbers actually are really surprising, and it does sound like numbers from a starter. He actually averaged 18 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. So he put up some really great numbers, which was really nice to see, and I honestly think he is going to get better as time goes on, but he does need more minutes on the court, and that's definitely what he's going to be getting next season. Another player to also watch out for that I think is an honest sleeper is Dante DiVincenzo. So as you all know, we did sign him this year, and Dante DiVincenzo hasn't really been playing well when it came to him in Sacramento. There were a lot of issues saying that when he was in Sacramento, they weren't really playing him as much. They were purposely doing it, to bring down his draft value or his stock value. So there was a lot of issues when it came to that. But at his peak, when he was playing with Milwaukee, he actually averaged 10.4 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.1 assists. So he was putting up some pretty solid stats. It may not be, starting type stats, but I think, what he can provide off the bench is that little oomph of, defense and also offense, which I think is going to be a really huge factor. So Dante DiVincenzo, he is honestly a sleeper. I absolutely love him, and I think he will be great for this team. And also, I really do think his play style matches everyone else well. Another person to also watch out for, like I said, guys, the whole bench in general, I think are fantastic, but we can't go through all of them in today's video. But James Wiseman, okay, James Wiseman is coming back. He was honestly a beast, 7'1", 240 pounds, last season, or pretty much a couple of games that he was able to play in 2020 to 2021. Actually, he was actually able to average 11.5 points, 5.8 rebounds, and also 1 assist per game. So last season he didn't really get to play a lot, or pretty much at all, because 2020 to 2021 was when he played around 39 games. So obviously, this season coming up, supposedly he is coming back. It may not be full playing all 82 games, but I think to see him out there on the court is already a great start, and it does set them up for a great future ahead. So that second unit is honestly so dangerous, and I think they are going to be able to do such great things for this team, especially, coming off the bench. Reason number 3 is Golden State Warriors' great defense. Now, I think this is probably the most underrated reason why I think the Golden State Warriors are successful, but their defense is actually very, very good. People don't really realize, I know a lot of people give flack to Steph Curry for not being a great defender, but he is actually a really good defender, and it definitely did show, last NBA Finals against the Boston Celtics. He was going up against some bigger, stronger, point guards in some cases, whether it was like Marcus Smart or he had to guard Jaylen Brown off a screen and switch. So there were a lot of cases like that, and he actually held his own very well. If Steph Curry was a terrible defender, I'm telling you right now, Boston Celtics should have won that series. But obviously, I think Steph Curry did a great job. But, despite the Steph Curry, talk about him being a great defender, it all starts with Draymond Green. Now, obviously, we all know what's happening with Draymond Green, where he wants a max contract, or if he doesn't get it, a lot of them are saying that he is going to leave the team. And I see a lot of you guys in the comments saying, oh, let Draymond Green go. He's absolutely useless. He only scores like 2 or 3 points a game and gets like 5 assists. But where Draymond Green really does flourish and he really does shine is on defense. He honestly leads this defense in every way possible, whether it's help defense, whether it's knowing what the best matchups are going to be and where he needs to be in order to be a great defender. So I'm telling you right now, Draymond Green is the rock when it comes to defense, especially for that starting unit, and I think it's very important to keep someone like that on the team. So obviously, I don't want to hear any more disrespect about Draymond Green. I know it doesn't show up in the stats, but I'm telling you right now, if you take Draymond Green out, their defense really does hurt. So Draymond Green, I think, is honestly fantastic, but their defense in general has been fantastic all year around. When it came to the normal season, 2021-2022 season, the Golden State Warriors actually ranked 3rd for the points allowed, so they were doing a really good job restricting their points for the opposing team as much as they could. So they did a very good job there, and I think when it comes to, what they are going to really provide on defense next season, with James Wiseman now there, Kevon Looney back, Draymond Green, and we also have new players such as JaMychal Green, Dante DiVincenzo, all that. So it will be good to see how they actually match up. I know defense is going to be a huge important thing, and I think they are going to really focus on that, especially for next season. Reason number 4 why I think the Golden State Warriors are going to be unbeatable next season is because of the great team chemistry that they have, and also on top of that, the great play style that they play with. Now, I think team chemistry is so important. I'm telling you right now, if there's players that don't get along, it really does show on the basketball court, and you can see the way they play together is very flawed. And we've seen that time and time again, especially with NBA superstars that end up teaming up together, and they end up, clashing heads, clashing egos, and eventually it just really doesn't work. And that's because someone has to give way and all that jazz. There have been teams that have worked out, such as the Miami Heat, the big 3 there. We also have, even Golden State Warriors big 3 of Steph, Klay, and Draymond. We all know Steph is the leader, then it's Klay, then it's Draymond on the defensive end. So, all of them really do play well together, and not just them three, but also the rest of the roster. I'm talking Wiggins, I'm talking Looney, Poole, JaMychal Green, all these players. I think even the new players that they have added in, none of them really have that NBA superstar ego or, I want to be the best player, blah, blah. They all know they're here to play a certain role, whether that's helping Steph, helping Klay, helping Draymond, whoever that is, and they're going to do it to their best of their ability. Now, I think that's why Andrew Wiggins fits so well with this team. Andrew Wiggins is such a great player, and he plays at such a specific role of just doing defense and scoring if he needs to score if Steph and Klay are open. That's literally his job, and he does it at such a high level. I feel like, people don't really give him the respect he deserves for what he actually does. I know Andrew Wiggins can go for 30, 25 points a game easily, but he decides to take the back seat to let Steph do that, let Klay do that, let all these other players do that, and he does what he does best. So team chemistry is very, very important, and I think that's going to help this team in the future. Reason number 5 is Steve Kerr is still coaching the Golden State Warriors. Now, I'm telling you right now, Steve Kerr is putting himself as one of the greatest coaches of all time. Some other people that I'd put in that same category are obviously Coach Popovich and also guys Phil Jackson. But Steve Kerr is definitely getting up there when it comes to his coaching ability. Maybe even Pat Riley, you can add him to that list as well. But, them as coaches, Steve Kerr has definitely given himself a name coaching so many great teams and also being an NBA champion as an NBA player as well. So he knows what it's like to play in the NBA, what it's like to coach in the NBA, and what is best for his team in order to win the championship. So having him on board for another season, guys, I have complete confidence that the Golden State Warriors are going to dominate the NBA, and I really do see them really doing very well, maybe getting first in the West and also winning another NBA championship. So guys, high hopes for them. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. I did want to say from last video we did hit 10,000 subscribers, so thank you again for that. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think. Can we win another NBA championship? And I'll see you soon. Peace.